What's going on, y'all? Man, it's A Kane here. We're back with episode 3 of the Rotation Podcast. I honestly planning on having any guests. They just here. Konami and Roach are in the building.
Yeah.
Reporting live from Bass Studios, as you guys know. And I would have had episode 3 up last week, but as you guys know, man, the world paused. The world stopped actually for a moment, man. And it's still, you can still feel it now. With the passing of Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gigi Bryant, along with the other, I believe, 7 passengers on that helicopter that crashed in Calabasas, was the last week. And that shit really took a toll on me, man. I found out Sunday morning. My sister came in my room and straight up was like, "Yo, Kobe died." And I didn't know what, like, you immediately tell yourself like, "No, this can't be the person they're talking about," when in all actuality, it was a hero and an idol of mine, an idol and hero to so many. And I honestly just didn't know how to take it, man. And I started crying, and I had my son with me. My son was confused as to why I was crying and why I was emotional going through that. And man, it still doesn't feel real. Still doesn't feel. I was numb to it then. I cried, but I was still numb to it just because it was, and the reason why it took so long to have this podcast again, other than it hit me so hard, was that you try to like get your emotions, like you try to find a way to word exactly how you're feeling, and you honestly can't. It's because you're not even prepared for that, especially with someone like Kobe. You know what I mean? Like Kobe to so many. I grew up in the Los Angeles area, South Central LA. I was born. You had to be a Lakers fan to live in my house, even to be in my family. Even when my family came over to Belize from Belize to the States, it was around the time where, it was that late '70s time, that late '70s time, and that's when Kareem had just left Milwaukee, and Magic Johnson just got drafted out of Michigan State, and Larry Bird got drafted out of Indiana State. I believe it was Indiana State. So it was around that time when the NBA started taking that turn to it was reaching. It was that '80s era. We all know that '80s era is like still so beloved and important. That's when my parents came out here. So when I started getting into basketball, I was born in '89. I remember watching basketball games at age 4, 5, 6, 7, on and on. So when Kobe got drafted, I definitely knew I had older cousins, my uncles. I saw them. I remember vividly them saying, like, "Oh, we got a high schooler." You know what I mean? We straight out of high school. I remember that being such a big deal. And for a lot of, at that time, that was like definitely looked down upon, or not even not necessarily looked down upon, but it wasn't normal to have someone straight from high school come out of the NBA. Now, kids are going from high school straight to the D League, so it's definitely a different time. But Kobe was the first. I believe KG was before him in '95, but it still was new. So I grew up watching Kobe, and also the reason why it hurt so much was that I grew up watching Kobe, and I grew up with. It's like I grew up with Kobe. He was like that older. It felt like an uncle died when he passed away, and it makes more sense as to why I felt that way, because you grew up watching him. I grew up watching Kobe from he was not getting no playing time, and when Derek Harris wasn't giving him no playing time, those air balls in Utah, the slam dunk contest where he won, he beat out Michael Finley and Sam Mitchell and Darvin Ham, I believe. Like, I was there for all that. I remember all that, man. I remember getting the crazy '97s, and then getting the crazy '8s. I remember meeting Kobe at the Getty Museum on a field trip in like my 4th grade. He was shooting some photos at the Getty Museum. So I grew up watching this man. I grew up watching Kobe, idolizing Kobe like so many of us did, from his work ethic to his drive, him not wanting to be complacent with his place in the NBA, him wanting to be the greatest player of all time. You hear stories like Shaq say, like Kobe told him, like, "Hey, yo, I want to be bigger than Will Smith, and on the court I want to be better than Michael Jordan." And telling him like, "Yo, relax, nigga. You're young and don't get too ahead of yourself." But that's the confidence he had in yourself, and that's why people gravitated to Kobe. Even when he went through what he went through, and that's why I never understand with athletes. Like these women out here in line. These women they just want a quick buck, and athletes get paid so much money. They're high profile. What better way to tarnish a man's legacy than just say he did something to you? So I'm not even gonna get all that because I don't believe that shit in the first place. I'm trying to really like squeeze in everything in before the machine goes out. This is gonna be a quick episode, you guys, because I don't want to get too emotional, man. It's been hard enough to get this episode out, but I'm glad I finally get a chance to. It's late tonight. We're at Mad Studios. It is 10:51 in the morning. Got something rolled up. Now I'm a roach right here. But I want to get in quickly to what Kobe meant to me. Again, growing up in South Central, I grew up with Kobe. I grew up watching Kobe. Grew up idolizing Kobe. And you saw that Kobe wanted to be the best from the get-go. You know what I mean? And having Dale Harris not playing him all those minutes, him knowing that he deserved to be out on the court, all he did was he just kept working. You know, you hear these stories. He was in the gym longer than everybody. He came to the gym before everybody. He stayed later than everybody. Him being in the film room, watching, studying players, studying his opposition, getting to know his opponent. So when he stepped on the court, he knew exactly what they were going to do. He was prepared. This man, like, he really, really thrived in clutch moments, and he really enjoyed the preparation of it. He really loved the game to where he loved just the preparation. And again, you hear these stories. He came in. I remember Kobe saying in an interview, like, he came in, he thought NBA players like really, really worked hard and went in. And when he came to the league, he was like, yo, these guys, they chill, they laid back, like they ain't even working hard. They don't even work hard. He came in thinking one thing, and when he got here, it was completely opposite. So he knew what he wanted to do when he came. He knew he wanted to be the best. And I remember being that young kid, like with the sign when they won their first championship against the Indiana Pacers, with my signs on 92nd and Hoover Street. My cousin Bethany, my brother Jordan, and my sister Raven. We made signs as the cars drew past. We got gang members and shit. Hispanic, black, don't matter. You know what I mean? Just hanging out their windows, shoot guns in the air and shit. Yelling at us across the street saying, we did it, we champions. And everyone had their Kobe jersey on. You know what I mean? I remember the time when Kobe dropped those Adidas, people weren't fucking with how they looked. But everyone went and caught those pairs of them space shoes. They had those space joints that he came out with. And, a three-peat later, 2 championships later, I should say, when they three-peated, I felt like Kobe, other, of course, we had Shaquille, and then we had alpha dogs, we had Shaq, we had Kobe. It's just that Kobe had that work ethic. Kobe being from Philly, he worked like he was from Philly, but he brought that LA pizzazz and that showtime to the court. And it felt like that was LA basketball, you know what I mean? But he brought that Philly East Coast work ethic, you know what I mean? And people really, and he blended those well, and everybody gravitated towards him, and he had LA in the palm of his hands, man. He really, really did, and you see it now. You see all the people who were out in front of Staples Center, like that they were interrupting the Grammy weekend and signing names and leaving memorabilia. They had the trash cans out. Everybody was shooting the trash cans, yelling Kobe. Like that has, and you see people on Twitter. You see stupid ass people on Twitter, man, and they say the only reason why he's doing this is because he passed away. Like, people fail to understand, like, the reason why sometimes when celebrities pass away, people make a big deal is because they're celebrities, man. People idolize celebrities. That's just the way the world is. You know what I mean? There's no knock against it. If you grew up watching a certain actor your whole life and he passed away and you feel some type of way, it's okay to feel that type of way. There are people who were like on people's heads about the way that they were grieving about Kobe, and you have to post as many pictures of him. And it's like, absolutely. This man came in the league when he was 17 years old. You watched him for 20 years play basketball and give blood, sweat, and tears to the game that you love so much. And it resonates with you because in your field, whatever you were doing, whatever you grew up doing, and you're in your field now, you apply Kobe's Mamba mentality to what you were doing now. It was a mentality you could take from, you could take it from Kobe being a basketball player, but you could apply it to your life. And he wasted no time letting people know, like, the Mamba mentality isn't just for me playing basketball. This is my mentality through life, through things I'm passionate about. And people really gravitated towards that. You know what I mean? And you can't really knock people on how they grieve. You know what I mean? If you watch this player for 20 years and he's in your household, there's people who post, a lot of my friends, people, the beautiful posts you see around the world. Kobe brought households together, man. You have a family not see each other all day. Everyone's working. Some family members might not get along, whatever case may be. But when that Laker game comes on, everybody's together. Everybody's a family. You know what I mean? I know for me, growing up in South Central, we were one of the only houses that had cable when Lakers would play on other. If you wasn't watching Lakers on K-Count 9, you know, not everybody had ESPN where I lived, and not everybody had TNT where I lived. So when those Laker away games came on, my house, all my homies were at my house watching the Laker game. And then during the halftime show, I had my little basketball hoop on my door in my room. We'll go practice Kobe fadeaways and Kobe dunks, behind the back dunks, and tomahawk dunks and throwing lobs. You know what I mean? Like, that's sports in general, but that's, again, a player like Kobe, man. Like, you hear Kobe was doing shit that I've never seen before, and now I do appreciate what everyone's saying. Like, you know what, the debates are over on who's better, who's this. You gotta appreciate these people while they're here, man, because no one expected Kobe to pass away. No one expected, not even just Kobe, but unfortunately his daughter and those 7 other passengers that were on that helicopter. It was just a freak accident, man. It was such a tragedy. Like I said, the world stood still when that happened. And you see all these murals all over the world, from the Philippines to Europe to China, and you know, like, this man connected so many people. Everyone grieved because everyone had one thing in common, and that was Kobe. You didn't have to say Brian. When you say Kobe, everyone knows who Kobe is. And it's not just Kobe was a great basketball player. He was a really, really good guy, it seemed like. I've never met him. I met him, but of course I was a kid, but I never, like, knew him. But he seemed like a pretty good guy, man. And it's unfortunate that Vanessa and the girls they lost a sister, a daughter, and a husband, a father, all in just a blink of an eye like that, man. So you gotta really cherish the people who you really cherish. You know, you can't really take this life we have for granted, man. You gotta live it. You gotta live every day like it's your last. But also, don't be afraid to tell people that you really love them, and you really truly care about them. Because in a blink of an eye, man, like, this man, growing up, everyone used to call him Bruce Wayne because everyone knew he took helicopters to the games. You know what I mean? And he's been doing it for years, and for it to be that you know, unfortunately he was in the helicopter when he passed away. It's just crazy, man, because he's been doing it for years. You know what I mean? And no one expected it. No one had. No, it wasn't even on anyone's mind, just because Kobe's been doing it for so long, man. So, again, this episode of Rotation, I didn't want to make it too long because I myself didn't want to get too emotional about it, because it still fucks me up. I got my Kobe jersey hanging in my room, and this man really meant a lot to me. So, I want to say, Kobe, I'm praying for your family, man. I'm praying for your girls, praying for your wife, praying for your family. I know you and Gigi are in a better place. It's unfortunate we didn't get to see you do all the things you wanted to do, especially with film, with storytelling, with women's sports, with youth sports. I know Kobe really wanted to dive into youth sports and stuff like that, man. So Kobe, I'm sorry that you weren't able to do that, brother. But you know that your spirit's gonna live on, and what you had intended for the world is gonna have you. You're definitely sparking. You know, you're definitely sparking the next generation, because, you know, sometimes technology is fucked up, but sometimes it is awesome, because now I get to show my son videos and highlights of you and different video clips of you giving inspirational words and messages and stuff like that, and so does the rest of the world. Gigi, I'm sorry you didn't get to go to UConn and we didn't get to see you be the greatest female basketball player ever, because I'm sure, 100% sure, that's who you were gonna be. You're gonna be the greatest female basketball player that we've ever seen. You know what I mean? And again, Vanessa and the family, Kobe's immediate family, the family of the other victims, from all of us here at Mass Studios and me of the Rotation Podcast, you guys aren't forgotten either, because there were 2 young ladies on that plane they also wanted to be the greatest women basketball players ever. There were moms, there were sisters, there were daughters. there were nieces and there were nephews, there was uncles, there were all kind of people on that helicopter the day it unfortunately went down. And again to the pilot as well. Rest in peace to you, sir. Rest in peace to all you guys, man. Um, again, we're gonna just keep this rotation episode short, just because this shit does weigh so heavy on me. If you ever been to Mass Studios, right on the front of our door, we got a picture of Kobe and Michael Jordan one-on-one. You can see Magic Johnson in the distant background just looking. That was the passing of the torch. That was the changing of the guard. And I was fortunate enough to watch Kobe for 20 years, him deliver 5 championships, him giving me the reason to brag to my homies at high school why he was the greatest and why their team sucked and why the Lakers are the shit and all. Kobe, I just want to personally thank you, man. I know you're in heaven looking down on all of us, man. And again, your handprints on the world aren't going anywhere because you inspired so many, you sparked so many, and a lot of people grew up watching you. And even the NBA is a little more competitive now because you're a competitive forever on the basketball court. No friends on the basketball court. After the game is different, but while we're on the court, no friends. You know what I mean? And you really, no one's seen that. Especially my uncle said, no one's seen that since Jordan. You hear it all the time. Well, I grew up watching Kobe, and I haven't seen that since Kobe. So, Kobe, man, I just want to personally thank you. Thank you all to rotation listeners. We'll be back with another episode soon. I might do one tomorrow after work or Saturday after work. But Kobe, man, RIP 8/24, and in your words, Mamba out.